Relationships are hard. They're fucking hard. And they should be fucking hard. You know why they should be hard? Because that's what makes them worthwhile. Listen, nothing in this world ever comes easy. Once again, this is Apex Sapien, the greatest to ever do it because I do it more than anybody else has ever done it. And so as I'm going through the stages, I got Mrs. Apex with me in the background. And I'm going through it, people. I'm going through it. She kicking my ass in the relationship game. And for good reason. Because one of the things that we suffer with as men is that when we get used to being in isolation, being ourselves, we grow stubborn. We go in our ways and we think in hubris and we think we are too good for our own britches. And nothing's better to knock a man down, to understand to bring him back to reality, is a decent, good woman in his life. And I don't say this as a simp or anything like that. I'm just saying, as a man who's self aware and self conscious, one of the things I've been learning about myself is I got a lot of inconsistencies that I got to work on. And that's what a woman will do to you. She forces you to reinforce your manhood. She forces you to rethink the way that you go about things, to make sure you're careful with your words. She forces you to behave in reality the way that you think that you're behaving. See, one of the things that we get away with being a single guy is that you're just taking care of yourself. You can be very selfish. You have to worry about most people. And because you don't have to worry about anybody and you kind of just taking care of yourself, you can kind of get away with a lot of shit. Like, say, for example, I want to sleep in and not do shit. Well, guess what? There's nobody in my house to tell me I got to get up and go do something. Nobody. It's completely on me. But if you want to sleep in and be a lazy motherfucker, guess what? Your girl's right there looking at you being lazy, not doing shit. And so there's a reinforcement. In order for you to have her do better in life, you have to demonstrate by your actions. And that's the one thing is that you got somebody always constantly watching over you. And if you're any man that has some type of self worth or I'm not gonna say ego, but self worth, you think of yourself as a decent man, honest, earnest, and hardworking. It's very difficult for you not to acknowledge that fact that your girl's there watching you. And so one of the things I'm starting to acknowledge about myself as I grow and develop myself into a leader is that I got a lot of things to work on. And I think that's the first step into becoming a better leader is understanding your limitations and where you fail and where you falter. And this isn't a bad thing. This is actually very one of the best things because once you have to understand is like a relationship, the more rocky it is to begin with, the better. That means you get to work through a lot of things together. And the more you get to work through things together, the more the bond grows because you see the growth and development over time. And that's what I'm starting to notice for myself is that I gotta start to change, develop myself over time. And you might even start to see it within the channel. You'll start to notice that I might get better. I might start to develop myself into a better person. You'll start to see the change in my growth over time, especially as a leader. Because it's different. When you're talking with your boys, you can pontificate a lot of theories. But when it comes to the practicality of the relationship, when you're actually in the midst of the war room, when you're in the midst of the battle, because it's a battle every day, like Patrice says, every day is a battle. Every day is you trying to conquer yourself. So when you look at your woman in the eye and you tell her to do something, or you ask her for something, she can look at you with complete confidence because she's watched you do it over and over and over and over and over again, and she can bring trust. And the first step of developing trust is learning to trust yourself. And that's one of the things. Like I got trust and self belief in myself. It's a whole different when somebody else is trusting and believing you. And I think Chael Sonnen talked about this is like you believe in yourself when nobody else believes in you. That's horseshit. That's horseshit. You don't truly start to believe in yourself till somebody believes in you. And that's why parents are really so important. Like one of the things I kind of realized, like especially like we developing the YouTube channel, is like I didn't really get my momentum going with the like I knew I was good at talking, but it's not until you start to get the feedback of other people saying we like what you're doing, we like what you're putting out there. Then psychologically you kind of develop this thing in yourself, like you know what, yeah, I am good at what I fucking do, and people don't want to speak like that. People like try to pretend like they're so great they knew they were always great. Man, that's not true. That's some bullshit. Bullshit. Because human beings are cooperative creatures. We're social creatures by nature. And you can have all the self belief in yourself. But it's not until that first person shows a belief in you, whether it be your mom, whether it be your first YouTube subscriber, whether it be your girl, your kids, whatever the fuck the person that looks at you and says, you know what, this person got it. He knows what he's doing. That's when you start to develop a new stride in yourself. Because when you got an army of people believing you, it makes you want to believe in yourself. Because human by nature, she's over here looking at me right now, cheering. But human by nature are self-doubting, fearful creatures. We just are. It's just the way that we're wired. And anybody tells you different is a sociopath. And because only a sociopath will believe that they are like the greatest thing to ever be without any reinforcement from anybody else believing it. And one of the things is like as you work and as you develop yourself and as you become better as a human being, You start to notice, other people will start to notice the difference in the feedback. It's kind of like going to the gym and working out when you train. When you're like David Goggins said, when you're a fat 300 person, there is no motivation. There is no dopamine. There is nobody cheering for the 300-pound guy to lose the weight. It's not until you start to get the looks from other people, when they start to notice your physique, when you start to see the change of your surroundings, is when then you start to really able to identify, you know what? I am who I think I am. And that's where like life gets like beautiful. It's like imagine if you're playing the piano. You're playing the piano. You don't know if you're good at playing the piano until somebody else is listening and say, hey, I really like that. Like I had this discovery. I used to take my piano to a park. I used to just play at the park early in the morning because I was fucking weirdo. It was the pandemic. I didn't have anything else to do. And I would practice and play by myself. And then every so often, like an old lady would walk by and say, oh, I really like that. You sound good. And I'd be like, what? The fuck? I sound good? I thought I was just fucking banging keys on the thing. But what you start to realize is it's only through the feedback of your system, of your surrounding environment, that you begin to understand I'm getting better. That's why I'm saying relationships are hard, because at first, if you're not in a relationship, like you don't know your deficiencies. You just don't. You can't. There's no way to be able to identify it. You can write that shit on paper, but it's not until you get live feedback from another human being. Get that fucking bug out of here. Not until you get live feedback from another human being that you then begin to understand, shit, I got things to work on. And I think too often in our today's society, we expect relationships to just be easy. We expect there to be no fucking hiccups, no roadblocks, no altercations. And we just expect it to be just a smooth golden trail that we walk across. These fucking bugs. Got that one. We expect it just to be this easy little golden trail that we walk around like, yada, yada. We hold hands. Everything's going to be magical and magical. No, nigga. Same thing with business. Business is a relationship with yourself. Like, you start to realize all your relationships are a reflection of you. So whoever you are is what your relationships are going to show as. So if you're not getting the feedback you like from your business, from your relationships, from your workout, your body, from your diet, it's because of you. It's what you're putting into yourself and what you're putting out into the society and the universe. So I just want to let everybody know, look, relationships are not easy, nor should they be. But when you make little strides, when you make little mini wins, and you see things going progressively better, just be happy. Cheer for that, because that means you're getting better as a human being. And at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. All relationships are imperfect. All relationships have fucking dark skeletons in the closet. They all got bullshit that we all fucked up, because you can't play a perfect game. There's no such thing as a perfect game in a relationship. Same thing with life. There's no such thing as a perfect life. No such thing as a perfect business. No such thing as a perfect art. It's an art. And so as I go through this little trials and tribulations that I learn and grow and try to build myself to a better human being, I hope that you guys can feel and resonate with the growth and change in me. And the growth and change in Mrs. Apex, so when she stops being so camera shy, she can come on the camera, because she really is a beautiful girl. But god damn it, she's hard. She's putting it on Apex. Apex is suffering out here. So for all my brothers going through it in the field, keep fighting. Don't give up. Take it on the chin.